Okay, here we've got Logray, the Ewok Medicine Man from 1983, and this is on a UK PALITOY card. So it's very similar to the US Kenner card. The only difference is there's no logo here. There should be a logo there, but there isn't. And the same picture, same figure. And as you can see, the Logray figure is quite brown or tanned looking, and he comes with a headdress which is there with a sort of bird skull on it, and a staff which is quite elaborate and nicely detailed, and the fur on the figure looks really good. So for a 1983 figure, this Logray is really good. If you compared him to the, say, 1978 Chewbacca, then Kenner has, PALITOY have really come far in making furry critters. So we've got Logray. Never had this one when I was a kid. The only Ewok I had when I was a kid was Chief Chirper. And when the other Ewoks came out, I sort of lost interest because I was about 14, 15 then. Okay, so it's UK graded. So it's on so Star Wars Return of the Jedi, Logray 1983 PALITOY 65 back, rarities 2 stars. And the card gets 75, the bubble gets 75, and the figure gets 90%. The figure is very decent. And what I paid for this, you could get the same, the figure graded. It probably cost more than this. So there you go. Logray. Another thing about PALITOY cards is underneath the Return of the Jedi logo, there's a sort of black bar. And the US cards never had that. This is sort of quite an international PALITOY card because it has 5 languages on the top. It has it in French, Dutch, I'm not sure what the bottom language is, German and English. So it has 5 languages on this card. So this is moving towards the sort of tri-logo card. The bubble is a PALITOY bubble, so it's clear, which is a good thing because Kenner bubbles tend to yellow, especially on Jedi cards and Power of the Force cards. But on this card it stayed clear, a bit dented at the top, that's why it got 75. You can see a bit of the dent there. And PALITOY tended to use oversized bubbles, so even though this bubble is quite small, it's still kind of big. And there's no logo there, so PALITOY sometimes, well, with up to some of the Empire Strikes Back cards, they had this really nice logo there, which was red and blue, and then they just stopped using it. Same with Meccano cards, they stopped using the logo on Return of the Jedi cards. And before that, the French cards had a really nice logo as well. But this card's designed to be sold in England, Germany, and the Benelux countries, even maybe France as well. Nice figure. Articulation, the head is fixed, doesn't move at all. Shoulders swivel and legs swivel. And then it also comes with a sort of bag where he keeps his herbs and stuff like that to do his sort of medicine stuff there. You can see the case has got a quite bad scratch on it, but that's not the end of the world. And the picture is just the classic image, and a lot of you will know this because in the last year they brought out Logray on a vintage collection card, and this is the same image. So this is the UK card or PALITOY card, and I'll show you the back in a minute. Okay, here's the back of the card. So it's very similar to the US card. It just says Star Wars action figures, collect all 65, and you've got all 65 that were available at the time. And then you've got the 2 Ewoks, Logray and Chief Chirper, are blacked out. And this was done to not spoil the surprise of the Ewoks in Return of the Jedi. And then obviously the Ewoks became a sort of bone of contention with a lot of fans. How could these little teddy bears defeat the Empire on the ground? And obviously George Lucas was using these as a sort of analogy to Vietnam, with the sort of Viet Cong as sort of, you know, who were able to defeat the mighty technology of the US Army in the tropics. And so George Lucas wanted to use the Ewoks, or originally wanted to use the Wookiees, but the Wookiees were able to use technology, so he decided to cut them down to size, or halve the height, and use a more primitive race. And they were able to defeat their empire on the ground. And then at the bottom there's the UK offer, special offer, Chewbacca Bandolier strap. I've shown this offer before. It says to get your bandolier strap, just collect 5 Star Wars action figures, cut out action figures, and cut out and send their package names. So in the UK we didn't cut out the POPs, we cut out the names, and you had to send them your name and address, and the check or postal order for £3.50 to Chewbacca Bandolier offer, PO Box 534 Erdington, Birmingham B24 OQ5, and the offer was open to UK residents to January the 31st, 1984. Sometimes this is blacked out, that especially the top sentence, and then you've got the sort of Lucasfilm Limited and all that sort of stuff there. So this is the back of a common, easy to find UK 65 back card with Chewbacca offer. Really easy to find these cards, very common in the UK, also common in the US as well. So certain figures are more common on PALITOY cards than Kenner cards. I'd say the Snowtrooper, Imperial Snowtrooper on the Return of the Jedi PALITOY card is the most easiest way to get that figure these days. So some certain figures on PALITOY cards are maybe the Snowtrooper, the C-3PO with the removable limbs is also very common on Return of the Jedi PALITOY cards. Luke Hoth is most likely to turn up on a PALITOY card as well. Return of the Jedi card. Let's see if there's any others. Not sure about any others really that are going to be more common than their US current counterpart. Maybe the Gamorrean Guard, the Klaatu, they're pretty common on Jedi cards, PALITOY cards. Rees, maybe. General Mudane, definitely very common on PALITOY cards. So, and I think they're overall nicer than the Kenner cards. I prefer, well, you know, these are the ones we had over here. We also had Kenner cards, but these are what are specifically for the UK market and Europe. So, very nice. And we'll have one more look at the front. Okay, some people ask me on my channel, how do you afford get the money for all of this stuff? So obviously here's I've gone for the cheapest option here, which was a 75 grade overall. So I've just gone for, you know, but the figures are 90, so there's a U90 in there, and the card's not in the best of nick, but it still gets a 75. And you can see a crease there in the corner. The card's slightly warped, nothing too major. The bubble has denting at the top, but still remain clear. And you know, so can't complain. And for about, you know, you wouldn't get this figure any cheaper, even ungraded. You'd expect to pay more than what I paid for this, so I'm not going to complain there. And you know, so if you bought the vintage collection version of this that came out last year, you're talking about £10 in the UK. And this one, which is the original, okay, it costs 4 times as much, but still, what would you rather own? The imitation or the real deal? So there you go. Logray. That picture's just pretty cool. And I mean, they did a really good job with this figure. So there are variations with this figure in terms of how dark the stripes are in comparison to the under fur or the lighter fur and stuff like that, but you know, that's nothing too major. Okay, so that's the Logray Ewok Medicine Man 1983, and you know, it might be worth trying to track it down. This one, no one seemed interested in it. I mean, I think the guy who was selling this had better stuff, like higher graded stuff, but you know, can't have everything. Especially when I've been buying a few rare figures like the brown-haired Luke, and I should be getting a small-headed Han soon, so that cost an arm and a leg. Okay, so Logray, the second one of the first Ewoks to be released, and really nice. Original card there, UK PALITOY.
Don't be alarmed. It's only a laser sword fight. Don't be scared. It's only the Death Star destroying another world. Relax. It's only a movie, and it's all for fun. Director George Lucas and 20th Century Fox present Star Wars. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Don't be alarmed. It's only the death breath of the Dark Lord. Don't be scared. It's only an Imperial cruiser making the jump to light speed. Relax. It's only a movie, and it's all for fun. Director George Lucas and 20th Century Fox present Star Wars. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. There is nothing new under the sun, but under the small green fourth moon of Yavin, there is quite a different story. Director George Lucas and 20th Century Fox present Star Wars. Luke Skywalker is on a daring mission to rescue a beautiful princess, and all he needs is a little help from his friends. Han Solo, space pirate, and Chewie, his giant Wookiee, C-3PO, human relations cyborg, and his counterpart R2-D2, and the mysterious Jedi Knight. Never before in the history of movies has so much time and technology been spent just for fun. Star Wars. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested.
Get Star Wars posters at Burger Chef.
R2-D2, hurry up.
That's right. 4 posters featuring the stars of Star Wars are at Burger Chef.
We'd like a Star Wars poster, please. R2, it's our lucky day. It's us.
Just buy a large serving of Coca-Cola for 49 cents at participating Burger Chefs, and a Star Wars poster is yours to control. There are 4 spectacular full-color Star Wars posters in all, so start your collection today.
R2, I think we'd better leave.
Star Wars posters, only at Burger Chef, while supplies last.
General Kenobi.
You remember last time, R2-D2 was sent by the lovely Princess Leia with an urgent message for Ben Kenobi.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
With a tiny rebel starship under heavy attack, R2 and C-3PO flee to the planet below. Will they make it? Will they find Ben Kenobi before Darth Vader finds them? Find out in the next thrill-packed commercial for Star Wars. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Meanwhile...